more or less come to the real issue. What truly happened?
Yeah.
And why did it happen? First of all, there's a young man called Sadiq Adams. I read a post by Sadiq, and he did some arithmetic.
You mean the journalist?
The journalist, yeah.
Sports. He's with Angel FM, isn't he?
Yes, he did some arithmetic as to the number of people who applied.
Yeah.
And from what he said, it may not be exactly the case, but from his arithmetic, 90,000 people applied.
Yeah.
And I think they were charging how much per form?
350.
350. So more, do the math. Over 32 million cedis. So it begs the question, is the military now using this approach as a way of raising funds? What are they going to use the 32 million cedis for? To print the forms? Is the military saying that they don't have a budget line for recruitment processes, and that the people who are already burdened must foot the recruitment fees at 350? Are they going to refund those who don't get the opportunity? Because the military knows that they cannot employ more than 3,000. That then brings me to another arithmetic that's
4,000.
4,000. This year 4,000. That then brings me to another math Sir Obama, our own Sir Obama, did on his wall this morning.
From Pokwasi.
From Pokwasi. And it's very interesting. He breaks it down that politicians will get protocol. Council of State members will get protocol. Members of Parliament will get protocol. Some journalists will get protocol. So he does a simple calculation of the protocol list out of the 4,000. You realize that after protocol has come through, the list or the remaining seats don't even amount to 1,000. You are looking at about 500 people.
Yeah.
So literally, the military took 32 million cedis to serve 500 people.
Let's even say 1,000.
Let's even say 1,000.
For the sake of the argument, yeah.
That's the reality. The military is taking 32 million from young Ghanaians for a recruitment that they know only 1,000 people will get the opportunity. Because the protocol also happened at the military. They also have their own protocol out of the 4,000. The CDS will have his protocol. The person who is in charge of HR will have his protocol. The brigadiers will have their protocol. Other senior officers will have their protocol.
So I guess that the point you're making, about 65% to 70% of the recruitment
is gone.
We're based on protocol.
It's gone. That is the Ghana we live in. So when you know that 60 to 70% is protocol, why do you waste the time of 90,000 young people? And I'm not politicizing it to a specific year. I'm talking about all years. Why do you waste the time of 90,000 young Ghanaians?
But the thing is, you see, protocol is not something. Protocol is not something that any institution will be proud to publicly state or to publicly tell us. They won't tell us that there's protocol.
No, I know.
Even this matter you're saying. You would get some people from the Ghana forces who say, Charlie, we challenge you to show us if there's any protocol.
But even at the place, even at the place,
yeah.
Felix, I don't know where Felix was.
Okay.
But I saw a video where the minister. I saw a video where Felix was addressing the media, and one of the military officers, who was a female, I want to put certain things straight. Those who are dead are not 12, they are 6.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen that video. So then someone added a comment. If they are 6, their lives still matter.
Yeah.
Even if it's 1. So that correction, as much as is necessary so we don't misinform the general public, the tone, the approach was unnecessary. The authority. So I've also taken the time to talk to some young people who went there And they tell me about the approach. One of them told me that there were dogs and other more or less aggressive means of engaging the potential recruits. So the point is, maybe, and with all humility and with all respect, it's time, hard time, the military perhaps tone down on the aggression, especially when you are engaging civilians. Respectfully. Because they are not, so that confirms the point that I was making. So the point is that you are dealing with civilians. They are not military yet. So they don't even have the acumen, respectfully, to process the military regimen. So you must have in clear thoughts that, look, we are dealing with civilians. Civilians who are between the ages of perhaps 18 to 25. Because the young person was telling me that when they got there at around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., the place was already full. They gave them 6:30, but they opened the doors around 7:38. And then, in her narration, what exacerbated the issue was the fact that the military was overwhelmed by the number. So they started putting out an announcement that they should go and come back on Saturday. But then the young kids were like, who should go and come back on Saturday? Maybe I came from Dodowa. Maybe I came from Shire Hills and other parts of Greater Accra. I should go and come back when? On Saturday. What if by the time I come, you've given protocol to other people? Then the young lady told me, as they were telling them to leave, some military officers were ushering some of them in. So in their mind, the protocol was even happening whilst they were standing there. It could be that the military officers probably didn't know those people. But that was the perception, at least at that material moment. Yeah, you see, they are holding kings.
Why do you have to give
so you don't,
everything,
you don't apply that degree of aggression when you are dealing with people. First of all, you created that problem.
Yes.
By amassing that number of people at a particular area. The question is, so the young person sent me a message of their recruits.
Can you imagine?
Let me see if I can read it.
Look at the way just like a young lady.
Let me just read the message. So they sent out a blast to all of them. Where is it? I can't seem to. Okay, I have it here. It says, "Dear applicant, you have been shortlisted for documentation and body selection phase of the Ghana Armed Forces 2025 recruitment. You are required to report to your screening center on Wednesday, November 12, 2025 by 6:30 a.m. Come along with original and photocopies of all certificates and summary sheet. Thank you." What this means is that they knew the number of people they were sending this to. And that is why I've also seen videos of some of the young people saying that we have other stadiums in Accra. So why didn't you send Navy people to Elwak? Send Army to Tema, and then maybe send the other Air Force to maybe Accra Stadium, or Accra Sports Stadium.
There's Wembley.
Yeah.
Wembley Stadium. It's big enough.
So that is one way of segregating the crowd to still be able to do what you want to do. So the question is, the first question we have to ask is, how many people were invited to Elwak? The military is yet to tell us. Because you see, Fred, if you invited 10,000 to Elwak, then the incompetence begins at that point. Because that should prick the mind of anyone that you cannot invite 10,000 young people to Elwak, for example. If you invited 5,000, it brings to the fore the issue of capacity. You know, recently we went to an event in New York, and the place has a capacity of 200. So in the US, everywhere you go, there's a small sign, and it states the capacity. So the people at the event were more than the 200. So the event the event hall owners, they came and they told us that we give you 15 minutes. If you don't ask people to leave, we'll shut down your program. So 15 minutes came, then the main boss came down and said, we'll give you another 15 minutes. If you don't usher everybody out, we are shutting down the program. Because there is a building code. Which building code states that in this facility or in this hall, you can only take 200 people, so that in case of fire. So the question is, what is the building code for Elwak? What is the capacity?
7,000.
7,000.
And yet there were 25,000.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
And the stats are not working.
So the first point of incompetence is right there. You have a building code that requires you to only accommodate 7,000 people. And that is even if it is in a stadium football style.
Yeah.
But in this case, you are mounting tables, you are mounting tents, you are doing all manner of things. So you may even have to reduce the 7,000 to 5,000 to be able to meet the safety code in case of fire, in case of emergency, in case of all of these things. But if you have 7,000 and you sent messages to 25,000, the person who approved for that to be done, that person is in trouble or should be in trouble. Number two, what was the mechanism or the arrangement process? Was the arrangement process to have all the 25,000 people standing outside and then you usher them in? Because even for crowd management, you could have easily said that, okay, we have 25,000. The first 5,000, you come from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
The second, come from 11 a.m. to that a.m. or to that p.m.
So you stagger it.
So you stagger it. So you can still achieve, but from what I read to you, it didn't state any time. So what it means is that everybody will come, and that is why people got there as early as 2 a.m. So it begs the question, our most disciplined institution, if they could get it this wrong, then we are in trouble as a nation. We are in serious trouble.
Hold on. Can't we even do this recruitment exercise on a continuous basis? Must we dedicate just one day for recruitment?